So this afternoon we've got Seth with us, and Seth is a used book. Hi, Seth. It's a used
Hello.
bookseller based in the UK, selling in the US market. And this playlist is all about how to use Keepa in a really intuitive and different way to maximize what you get out of it. And I think today we're looking at the deals tab. It's not something I'm very familiar for, so I'm going to pass it over.
Yeah, so not many people are familiar with this. Keepa don't seem to market their product particularly well. And this is one example that I've been using Keepa for well over a year until I realized that you can rearrange this page to make it a lot easier in the eye and a lot easier to find a deal. So this is what it looks like on default. And it kind of just gives you...
Is this just the Keepa page, just the bog standard?
Yeah, the front page is just looks a bit different, but then if you click on the big deals tab at the top here, it will take you to the default.
Everyone's used to seeing the graph, and that's where they stop.
Yeah, exactly. They don't realize there's a lot more to this tool and software. So the deals page will show you kind of all the price drops. Well, not necessarily all of them, but a lot of price drops on the Amazon page that day, and it will list them all here in product boxes. But for me, I look at this and I kind of can't really tell whether I want to buy any of these things. And obviously as a used bookseller, I will click, you can click on categories to kind of narrow your search down. So what I'll do here is I'll click on books to see what books.
Can we just go back a little tiny bit? So these are items that have dropped in price on Amazon. So this would be for Amazon Flips. Is that?
Yeah, this is right? Amazon to Amazon Flips. Yeah. Okay. So, but the problem with this page is that you could have a drop and it might not be a profitable drop. You know, it might just be a drop from above the Amazon price to a little bit below. So you're not actually going to make any money on it. Okay. And you're not going to sift through all of these to each one go in, because that would just take forever. But a way of being able to sift through the actual good deals is obviously you narrow it down your search to what your niche is, what you're best at. So obviously I'm going to go on books here, and we can see that there's 252 drops in the used good category, but that's still not very useful to me. So
sorry, drops when? Drops today or last week? How up to date is it?
Yeah, so you can actually choose the limit drop interval, which you can see on the left hand side here. So I've currently got it set as the week, but as the most profitable drops get snapped up so quickly, you've just got to run this by the day.
Okay.
Otherwise there's no point.
Today, then?
So it looks like 115.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't know whether 10% of those will be worth buying, 20%, but we can have a little look through. And so yeah, what most people don't realize about this page is that it's much easier to look at if you, on the top left, on the view as a little box here, you, instead of product boxes, you click on the table, and then it presents it to you in more of a kind of spreadsheet table format. It's a lot easier to read. I've actually configured it so that I can compare the current price, so the dropped price, against the 90-day average, which is obviously super useful, because if we see one here that's say $20 and then the 90-day average 60, we can be quite confident that's a profitable book to buy, and we can click straight through on Keepa and buy that book. And I've done this on a video where I didn't even try, and I found a book for $7.48 which can sell for 50. I didn't even run through it before. But for example, so I've configured these columns here, and we can see straight away on this page that maybe this one would be worth buying here, $40.
How easy?
And the average is 60.
Sorry, how easy to configure the thing? Because if that was technical, wasn't it? The thing.
No, sure. So what you do is on the top left above the table, there's a configure columns button here.
Okay.
So you can click on that, and on the default settings, a lot of these are ticked off. So what you'll want to do is you kind of want to, I guess, maybe screenshot this video and if you want it to look like this, but I've unticked a lot because there's a lot of useless information that Keepa give you. So all I want to see,
so much data, you can drown in it.
Yeah, exactly. But when we're just looking for what the current price is and what the average price is, and then a couple of other bits of info that are useful, we don't really need all the rest of the stuff. Like we don't need to know the weight of it or, you know, the parent ASIN and stuff.
you're set up to Amazon.com in America. Does this work in the UK?
Yeah, it works in the UK. The only difference in terms of books is that there won't be as many deals each day. So we can see, obviously we said there was 150 in here.
Yeah.
There's usually more than that actually. There's usually kind of 200 plus. I don't know if this is just a quiet day or something. Maybe Monday's a bit quieter, but there's usually more. But you might find that there's only kind of 20, 30, 50 on the UK market, but there's still opportunities available. And obviously other categories it's useful as well. But yeah, if we kind of scroll through here, let's see if we can maybe find one that's worth looking.
Like check this. You've got no idea what's going to come up.
No, I've got no idea. This one, for example, this looks like a really good one. We've got calculus here. We've got the used good price is $53 and the 90-day average is 111. Once we've got that, so that looks like a really good flip, right? We can pretty much double our money.
Right.
But after that, you need to make sure that the sales rank is acceptable, not too high, really. 115,000 is a very low rank, so that's really good. Okay. The Amazon price is much higher, so that's good as well, because we know that Amazon's not going to undercut us. And also the new price is way higher. Oh. So I'm looking at this, I'm thinking this is the perfect flip. And then what we can do, and
how did you set that up? What did you click on? Sorry, I missed that bit.
So that was just, so we click in just on the kind of, the column, no, the row even. And then we can go straight through to Amazon here and assess whether this is worth buying.
Are you worried about, what would worry me about used books is the condition. So do you just trust the condition is what they say it is?
So this example, I probably wouldn't go for it because we can see that, it's taken us to the wrong. We can see that I don't know what's done then. I can open it up here anyway. So we can see that this seller has got a 48% feedback rating. So we're probably not going to buy from them because we'll get delivered a really rubbish book that might be waterlogged or smell terrible or something like that. And then the next lowest one's not the best either. It's an 85% positive. So I might not actually go near this book, but for example's sake, if this was a seller that was a 90% positive rating plus, I would jump at this book straight away and I'd go for it because I know that I could resell it at the buy box price of $110. You can see here because the offers we were looking at there, they're the merchant fulfilled offers, right? So we can buy those offers up and then we can sell them at the FBA lowest offer, which is currently $110.93.
Okay. Was there another example just underneath? I don't know if it's any good.
Yeah, we can probably have a look.
I think there was one below that was buy for 30 and sell for 90. Maybe I remembered it. Yeah, there we go. Buy for 30. No,
this one. Oh wait, it was here, wasn't it? Calculus.
there we go.
Oh, this one here.
I've no idea.
This one could be, this one could be, but the only thing I would say is that the current new price is $34.
Ah, okay.
So if we look at the graph, we can see that in September and August, the price was quite inflated, and then recently it's gone down a little bit.
Okay, so that's not a good one.
It might be though, because remember what we said in the last video that, we might not have said that actually, but the new offer, if we untick the used here and look at the new offer. Okay, so this is an example where we would actually be able to flip this. This is good find, Emily.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, you've done well, but because in the used books market, you can buy up the stock even if the new price is lower because that's still merchant fulfilled offer. I don't know if that happens as much on the UK market on stuff that you sell, but I could definitely buy up all of these potentially and potentially resell for 68 because there's no other prime offer. So, and we could buy up this prime one as well because they've probably only got one copy.
So you wouldn't be scared of buying 5 or 6 copies or something?
I'd be happy to buy this one because it looks like it sells quite consistently. And it didn't sell as well when it was a bit higher, but these are all really high. So I'd be confident I'd be able to because the next offer after this $30 one is $59.99, and you're making a profit even if you had to go down to 59.
How do you check again just to make sure the seller isn't going to sell you some sort of horrible copy that's missing pages or scribbled on? Where was that?
So
was that there? The deals has got 91% positive. So is that okay?
Well, I know for sure that this seller is very reputable, and all of these, the top 3 sellers, which are the lowest 3 offers, they've all got 92% plus. They've all got thousands of reviews, so you can be pretty I mean, I've bought from these top 2 regularly. I know that they generally give you what you order. Okay. So that's the sort of thing that comes with experience, but also you can tab out their feedback rating, and you can see in the last month whether people are whether they're giving feedback saying, we've not been delivered our book, or it's come in really bad condition. So that's just something that you can dig a little bit deeper into. But this is definitely a potential flip if you've got a slightly high risk tolerance. Yeah, let's see if we can get one more.
I've got talent. I quite like this. It's quite good fun.
This is another one that the 90-day average is quite high, but again, the new is at the same price. But we can have a quick look again and see if it's a similar example to that one, in the sense that the new offer is merchant fulfilled. But I have a feeling it'll be FBA.
And what are you?
So
yeah, because you use a prep centre, don't you? So you're based in the UK and use an American prep centre, don't you? So you're FBA.
Yeah. So this is another example that you could buy up this offer here, and potentially this offer, and probably sell it at 125, because these two are lowballing. And this is another example.
So why would someone lowball?
Potentially their
repricer. Is that the same thing?
Yeah, their repricer could be incorrect. It's just not doing the right thing. So whoever's set that up has not set that up very well. And then the merchant fulfilled offers matching the lowest FBA offer. So clearly these 2 offers are below market value, and I would potentially buy those up. So that's a 3rd book potentially to flip that we found in 10 minutes? Not even that.
That's just mad.
And that was just that was us not even trying, right? We haven't even set it up.
One more. Sorry, I'm gonna have another go. Last go. It's quite addictive, actually. It's quite good fun.
This one could be another example. Yeah, I love it, to be honest.
Honestly, it just suits the way I like to think, just sitting here finding deals. So have you got a top price you'd pay? Because there's one there for 89, which is 146. That's not really.
This one I wouldn't go for, right? Okay. Because it's a set of 8 books.
Okay. So
I don't really want to go for something that's really big and weighty, because I know that the shipping fees that FBA are going to charge me are quite high.
Okay.
But I would go for it if the new offer was a lot higher here, so that I know it's definitely. But there's some things that I kind of steer clear of just in case. It's just a bit of a.
Okay.
But you could definitely buy it.
Doubles, basically. You're looking for it where the current price is half of the 90-day average. Is that what you're looking at?
Generally, that's a ballpark figure. But if the rank is below 200,000, I'll happily go 60%. Because you're still going to profit. But yeah, 50% or lower would be my ideal. That's what I usually look for. And there's plenty of opportunities where you can get that. So, I mean, this one's probably another one like the last 2 examples there. So that's potentially a 4th one we've found in the space of 10 minutes. And we've not even gone through half of these results yet.
We've not even scratched the surface, have we? Wow.
And also, let's just...
So almost the title
there are a lot, but
doesn't matter. You almost don't care about what the book is. You're just looking at the numbers.
I don't care at all.
Okay.
As long as the Keepa graph is telling me that this book sells.
Avengers 34 to 86. Oh wow, that's got a really high.
Yeah, this might be.
That's like 1 million.
That's the problem with this one. If you look at the yearly, it clearly doesn't sell at $90, and then it only sells when you drop it a little bit lower. So I wouldn't buy that unless it would say $20 maybe. But also another thing to note, obviously there's 115 on this particular table, but we're only looking at the used good table at the moment. So you can make money on the used acceptable, you can make money on the used very good, the like new, and you can even buy up, you can find, I've found a lot of books on the new that I can resell as used very good and still profit. So it's not just one table.
I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah, so there's 5 or 6 tables, even the Amazon ones. Sometimes Amazon, you can see that they'll drop their price maybe on a daily, like a 2-day gap, and you'll just get a little lightning deal kind of thing, and you know that you'll be able to buy it because they'll only have a couple left in stock, and then you can resell it. And
You have to be careful. I heard that when you do flips, you can't buy prime. You've got to be really careful to prime. But can you explain that to save us all from getting in trouble?
Yeah, so a lot of people are worried about this. It isn't against Amazon's terms of service to buy an FBA book to resell as long as you don't buy Prime shipping. I don't have a Prime account.
But I've got a Prime account, so what would I do?
I think, okay, so I would just get rid of Prime because I don't want to risk it, right? But apparently it's still not against terms of service if you've got a Prime account, as long as you waive the Prime shipping. I think they just don't want FBA sellers buying FBA, getting that really good shipping rate, and then being able to turn over stock really quickly.
Could you take the opportunity to ask like parents, grandparents, friends, family who've got time to receive deliveries to do Prime, to do it non-Prime for you, or Prime?
Yeah, you could. You could. What I say to people is, do you really need Prime?
I buy a lot of Amazon. That's where most of my Amazon profits go back on Amazon for products.
Yeah, but just the one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to set up another buyer account, because then Amazon can get a bit funny, right, about you having more than one account. So I heard a
story on someone else's channel where someone had bought something completely for themselves and left a review. 6 months later, their partner had sold something in a similar category, but the review wasn't very good, so Amazon suspended them because they looked like they were trying to manipulate reviews. So someone had bought like a mascara or something and said, "Oh, this doesn't work, it's now." And then 6 months later they'd sold like a eyeliner, and then and Amazon had gone, actually, so now I've said to my whole family, do not leave any reviews for just to be on the safe side. You've got to walk a very tight line, haven't you, to be careful.
Yeah, it worries me a bit, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, don't leave reviews. That's really fascinating. So, okay, so if you go into what, should we have a look at different? What's in the like new? How many are there like new?
Let's have a look.
Do you have a favourite?
111.
Wow.
Not bad.
So you've got, so that's like just shy of 300 on. Do you have a favourite? What's the one I'm looking for? Condition to sell in. Do you prefer to sell in like new, or do you prefer to sell good?
You can't sell like new unless you've got an invoice. So if you're doing used books, you'll only be selling used very good, used good, or used acceptable. I want to make sure that my customer's happy. So if the vast majority of books I sell are good, because I don't want to list very good and customers say, "Oh, this wasn't very good," and then unless it's in not the best condition, then it's acceptable. But yeah, mainly used good.
So I'm a bookworm, right? On a personal level, I am massively into my books, and I'm really particular. So if I buy a like new, I expect a like new, and if there's a slight dink and dent on it, because for me that's just something I really. They all go on my shelf, and they're all alphabetically ordered, and I'm a bit particular. So the condition of book is really important to me when I buy it. So I tend to just simply buy used or like new or new. Just
yeah, that's fair enough. Like new should be almost, it should be pretty much straight out of the box, shouldn't it? Because
you don't need invoices and receipts if you're doing very good and down.
Yeah, you need receipts if you want to get a reimbursement and stuff, but you don't have to have an invoice or a receipt, because that's not it's not part of their terms of service. So it's quite good, really. But so this page is just really good, and also you've got to remember that the drops are happening all the time. So if you log on at say 1 p.m. and you don't find much, you can log back on at 4 or 5 p.m. and there'll be a whole new host of deals probably. So, and the best ones get snapped up straight away.
I bet they do. So you could literally just like fill your inventory by doing this. This would be sufficient for you to fill your inventory, surely.
On the US market, totally. I mean, I sometimes spend all morning just on this, and I'll spend hundreds of dollars with loads of really good books, and I won't even be able to make my whole way through them.
Wow.
You know, this is sort of thing that you could outsource to a VA,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
You know, this it's obviously not infinitely scalable, but you could definitely get a couple of people on it and still not scratch the surface, because they're constantly being refreshed, as it were. So yeah.
That's really fascinating. That's really blown my mind. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, it's just funny that no one knows about it as well. Like, it took me a
Weird.
good year to even know this existed.
Yeah. Well, wasn't Keepa free for like the first 2 years? And
Yeah, it's only, I think only last year they started charging,
they could triple
or
it.
maybe even.
Okay. I think
Yeah,
there's not much business. They need to be. Well, they don't need to be, because I like the price I pay. But I'm
yeah,
grateful.
I know. Oh, but also one more thing, we didn't touch on the fact that you can actually change the settings a bit here.
Okay.
So you can put what you want the maximum sales rank to be here, which
What do you
obviously
expect it
isn't.
to be for books?
So I usually put that as 600,000. So that's why when we first started talking, I was surprised that there was only 100, because when this reloads, there's going to be a good 300 or so now. So that would just show you the scope's even bigger.
So
I'll find
if you want
deals.
to use books, right? Is it a slow burn? Do you need like thousands and thousands of books in your inventory? And what about storage fees and stuff?
I advise that you can start this business. You can start with $500, preferably 1,000, because with Keepa, it costs you €15 a month, right? You could use this technique. So what are your overheads to begin with? You've got to pay for your professional selling account, $40. Yep. You've got to pay for Keepa, $20, $22. And then you just get on this, and then you buy, say, $900 worth of stock. You'd be able to buy goods. If you're buying books for, say, $20, you'd be able to buy 40 books, yep. Send your first shipment in with the rest of the money to pay your prep company. And then you've got your first shipment. Well, that completely depends on the sales rank and the time of year. But if it's under 200,000, 300,000, and you're pricing it efficiently, you'd expect that to sell within the week of it hitting Amazon, even at slow time.
Quick.
Yeah, books sell super fast year round. Even textbooks sell year round. So yeah, my inventory, the vast majority of my inventory is 0 to 90 days. If you look at the inventory age thing.
I expected you to say, I have to chuck out a load of stuff at the end, coming up to the long-term storage fees. I thought it was a real slow burn.
It can be if you play that strategy, but I want to keep my IPI score above 500, because then you can have unlimited storage. So I try to actively pick books that are faster selling. But if I was, say, a merchant for field seller only, I would have loads of longer tail books, but obviously that's because the storage fees wouldn't factor in.
And obviously the US market is the place to be. Can you make some sort of revenue in the UK market, just a smaller version?
I would say you could make just as much potentially, because I don't look on the UK market much, but even when I'm just buying a book for myself, I like to kind of have a little scroll around just to see what the UK market looks like. And even now, compared to 3 years ago when I first started, and I did do a little bit of books in the UK market, there was only kind of 1 or 2 FBA players on each book listing at a time, right? And that still seems to be the case. People still, it's very unsaturated, whereas on the US market, obviously there's not as many customers in the UK market, but in terms of competition, you wouldn't, if you bought thousands of books on the UK market, I think you do quite well. I can't unfortunately comment how well you do, but I think that the FBA sellers who are predominantly books at the moment are making a killing. Otherwise they wouldn't still be here 3 years on, right? And I really do think that.
That's true. Wow.
But you'd have to be a bit more creative when you're sourcing. I think you'd have to probably do some more charity shop searching, and you'd probably have to.
You see, when I first started, I got one of my first disbursements was like 45 quid or something, and I went straight into, because I buy a lot of my books to read from charity shops. So I went in there, so I started scanning stuff, and I had no idea what I was there. I bought a couple of cookery books, bought a couple of Falklands War books, random stuff. Some of them were still sitting there 9 months later, and I just got completely demoralised, put them out and sent them back to the charity shop. So I've got a really backwards view or tainted view of it. But I just literally walked into a charity shop, sat there and scanned 100 books on the shelf.
I was the same when I first started. I scanned books and I saw, oh my God, the new price is £150 or $150. I'll be able to make loads of money. And then you later learn on Keepa that this particular book about monasteries was 5 million rank and was just never going to sell.
No.
And it was like this big, like 10 kilos.
Yeah.
And I hauled that back from the charity shop. It's like, oh God, Seth, you idiot.
No, it's just not me. Oh my God.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Everyone does that.
We've all been there. So
Yeah.
so I could take £1,000 out of my business.
Yeah.
Like on my FBA stuff, my OA FBA business, and I could set up almost like a side hustle within books, just using Keepa, and at least turn my money over and have like a second income stream within my business in Amazon.
I think so. If it's something that kind of piques your interest,
Yeah,
a little bit, I would definitely dip into it, because as you said, you love books, I love books, and that's what I love about this business, the fact that I'm actually interested in the things that I'm looking at, whereas I wouldn't be as interested if I was flipping beauty products or whatever. But I just like the fact that I'm doing books. So if you're interested even remotely in books, I would recommend it, because it's quite low risk. You can pick up a lot of stock for quite a low amount, and the margins can be really good on the US and UK market. So I think it's a no-brainer just to get stuck in. And I think many people.
I might do one of those YouTube challenges, you know, where you like
Yeah.
start 50 quid and like follow my journey or something. I don't quite know.
Yeah.
Bringing you in to help me and keep me on the straight and narrow. But I might.
I'm here to help.
250. Can I chuck 250 quid at this and do a short thing and see how it goes? Would that work, or is that not enough?
Yeah, definitely. Why not?
Right, we'll do it.
Why not? If you commit to doing a few charity shop things, stock down things, then
I'll put the money down and you have your expertise, because obviously you're not a UK seller, and we'll follow our journey. What do you reckon?
All right.
Done. Sold.
Yeah, I reckon that's doable.
Films, you can't get out.
Sounds good. Watch this space.
Yeah, that'll be really good. Brilliant. Perfect. Thank you very much. We are going to carry on doing, before we go off on a tangent somewhere else, we're going to keep doing some more Keepa deep dives, because I think you've got even more uses for it other than just the daily deals, don't you? So we've done the graphs and the deals. There's some other things. You said track's quite important as well. So we'll have another video.
Oh, yeah.
But until then, thank you so much for your time, Seth. I really appreciate it. It's been really interesting. Thank you.
No worries.
Take care.
Thanks for having me on.
Bye.
See ya.